Hey, what is going on, guys? Basically today we're going to be taking a look at how to gear up in patch 8.3 and prep for Shadowlands, and also just to get raid ready. Also I do stream on Twitch, so if you guys do want to go check that out, I do stream a little bit of WoW on there on the weekend, so feel free to come through. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, let's go and hop into this video. So step one, I have about 4 steps here. Is to work on world quests to get you to 410. And now I would recommend that if you are a tank or a healer, that you actually don't even do the world quest. You just queue for straight up heroic dungeons, because the queues are going to be really quick. And if you have flying and stuff, it would make world quests a lot easier. But I still think if you're a tank or healer, like I said, you get four pieces of gear for 30 minutes. Which, if you don't have flying, that's about like 2 to 3 world quests, depending on which ones you go for, which is actually going to be a lot quicker. But if you're a DPS, I'd recommend going and doing like 1 or 2 world quests in between heroic dungeon queues, depending on the time of day you're really queuing, because, like I said, those queues can be kind of actually really insane. Yeah, and then also, like, the world quest really to look for is like the ones that you kill maybe like 1 mob or 2 mobs. Or never do the percentage, or like kill this boss and this boss and this boss, multiple bosses. The best ones to do are like, you know, like the like kill like a rare or something and you get a piece of gear. Those are the ones really to look for. Also the emissaries, work on those a lot too, just because they usually give like a piece of Azurite gear, which is kind of hard to come by. And yeah, so that's kind of like what I would do. And once you get up to 410, at that point, I would unlock your essences, because that way, and basically to unlock your essences, you have to unlock Nazjatar. So after you unlock Nazjatar, it will give you like a piece of 370 gear, which at this point you're already 410, which you don't need unless you need, you know, have maybe a piece of gear that you don't need. But yeah, so that will get the essences unlocked. As you unlock Nazjatar, it will take you to Magni, and you do a couple quests for him to get your essences. By doing this, it boosts your Heart of Azeroth all the way up to 430, which will be a huge boost for you, especially at 410. That'll probably put you at about 415, maybe 405, 412. I'm not sure, depending on like what pieces you're missing to get to 410. And yeah, so then at that point, once you get that, you would then can start on your world quest cloak. Not world quest cloak, your fucking cloak. So once you get your cloak, that'll be a piece of, it's obviously 470 if you don't know. This unlocks the last part of LFR, which we get into step 3, which is you could do LFR. So like I said, that's gonna be 12 bosses essentially that have a chance to drop you a piece of gear. Although I generally say you'll probably end up getting about 1 or 2 pieces of LFR. So if you can, I think the best way to get to 430 is to do mythic zeros. So like queue with the same gear type if you can, like if some guildies on or something like that. You can queue with some guildies there, queue the same type. For me, on my demon hunter, I queued with some guildies that were all leather, and it took me I was about 410. Like, this is the process essentially that I did. I was about 410, 415, and that was before I got the 470 cloak. And I queued for about 6 mythic zeros, and I got the 430. So that was a real quick way. I mean, like I said, it'll take you a couple hours of mythic zeros of doing, but by doing so, it ends up being really quick. And at that point, you're about 430, 435, essentially. Once you get all 430 gear with that 470 piece, you end up being about 440. And at that point, you can start queuing for normal raids and pushing high keys every week. So that at that point, you're good for endgame content. That kind of sets you up good. Also, you can, if it is there, I didn't put this in my steps, but if it is there, you can do the heroic warfront, which gives you a piece of 430 gear if you can. Like I said, it just all depends when you're doing this. But yeah, like I said, this should take about a week to do playing. So if this is 1 week, we'll get you at about 430, I'd say. But yeah, so hope you guys do enjoy this video. And this is kind of a shorter video and not necessarily my Unholy Death Knight content that I normally produce. So hopefully I did help you guys out a little bit. Also, if you have any tips and tricks below, go ahead and comment down below. And yeah, hope you guys do enjoy, and take care.